This is More to Say with Randi Naughton. Interesting conversations with interesting people.
And we welcome you into another edition of More to Say with Randi Naughton. It is the podcast where we have interesting conversations with interesting people. I often have people go, well, what's it about? It's like, well, pretty much everything. We talk to athletes, authors, entertainers, you name it. We talk to all kinds of people about all kinds of things. And if you want to check it out, it's on all streaming platforms. And if you want to see what else I'm up to, go to my website, randinaughton.com. It talks about my voiceover business, the podcast, my career, my mini horse Uno, you name it. And of course, we would not be able to do our podcast without the help of our partners, teamjakey.org, which is a local St. Louis 501c3. And it was born basically of a tragedy out of the Zeller family where one of their loved ones took his own life. And they decided, you know what, we don't want other families to go through this. So we're going to do what we can to try to help other people through mental illness and end the stigma of mental illness and hopefully prevent suicide. So that's what they do. TeamJakey.org is their up and running website now. It's a true 501c3. They do great events all year round to raise money. They work closely with Provident Behavioral Health. And I'm very proud to be able to host their gala this coming February at the Chase. I think 500 to 600 people. It's going to be awesome. I got my sparkly outfit ready to go.
Sweet.
And of course, I wouldn't be able to do any of this stuff without my podcast partner, Logan Janis. You over there, Logan?
I'm over here. Hello.
He's over there. He's over there. We are actually on Logan's set today. And Logan has his own podcast. It's called Mostly Superheroes. And as I tell everybody, that too is a variety podcast. If you like superheroes, they talk about movies, they talk about TV, they give stuff away, they have cool pop culture stuff. So you need to check it out, mostlysuperheroes.com. Get on their newsletter list, get on all that. So today we have a very special guest on the More to Say podcast. You've seen me and him together for literally years, decades. Mr. John Pertzborn. Ladies and gentlemen, John Pertzborn.
Thanks. Do we have any time left? That was a long introduction. We're out of time, everybody. Thanks for being here.
I got to kill time, man. John Pertzborn is with me, my longtime former co-anchor at Fox 2, and I'm a former co-anchor now. I'm a former anchor from Fox 2. John is now a former co-anchor from Fox 2. You have been retired, let's say,
since October 22nd.
Like about a month now.
Is it really that long?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Is time flying for you?
I am so well rested.
Are you really?
Yeah. I slept. I went to bed last night about 11, got up this morning. Mary gets me up, my wife, 6:30.
I'm telling you what, when we were working and we literally had to get up at the ass crack of dawn, and P.S., you're allowed to swear, it's a podcast.
By the way, you look very nice. Oh, sorry. Can I say that?
You can say
Remember
it.
that?
I thank you very much.
Yeah,
you know what?
that?
Even my husband said that today. He goes, you look nice today.
Yeah.
I'm like, thanks, dude.
Yeah.
See, I still have potential after 37 years
I was thinking
of
back
marriage.
on that Karen Foss moment.
Yes, with Don Marsh and Karen Foss.
Yeah, we don't want to.
Anyway, so you've when you worked the morning show, what time did your clock go off?
About 1:15.
1:15.
1:15, 1:20. It would fluctuate. But I would wake up automatically. My circadian rhythm, according to Dr. Ogile, was so finely tuned.
Dr. Joseph Ogile from the Clayton Sleep Institute. He is the bomb.
He
Go
should
ahead.
sponsor this, by the way.
Yeah, Joe.
Come on, get with
Come on,
it.
Doc.
Make some money. Anyway, he said that my circadian rhythm, which is my timing of my brain, was so perfect that I would automatically start waking up, and I did. I would wake up before my alarm went off.
Yeah.
But that was like, let's say you had a drink the day before.
Heaven forbid
which
you
we
have
never
a
did.
drink.
That would not work.
No.
That messes with your whole
It
body.
does. It messes with it. And now I've been retired from Fox 2. I retired in July of 22. So we're going on for 4 years, 3.5 years.
So we worked together, 24 years?
You and I worked together on the air together as co-anchors for 23 years.
23, okay.
23 years. And I still wake up in the middle of the night, sometime in a bit of a panic. And I go, oh, I got to go to, no, you don't have to go to work. But then I think about all the stuff I have going on, right?
Yeah.
So, and then I go back to sleep and wake up.
And
walk
you
the
asked me,
dog.
you're waking up. And I said, no, I don't, but I do. But it's to urinate.
Thanks for sharing, John.
We'll be right back.
I do that too.
Yeah. Well,
Logan
no,
does it too.
It's kind of a guy thing.
It is a guy.
Although,
No,
you
it's
know,
not.
It isn't?
I had to go potty last night too. So
Okay, well,
no, it's
now
not.
we
It
got that.
definitely isn't.
Our
So
urologist. There you go. We should get a urologist to sponsor.
okay,
this.
we got a sleep doc and a urologist
Right.
on the docket. That's
Right.
what we're looking for. So how has it been? Retirement you've only in it a month. I've been in it 3 years.
Well, I really haven't had a lot of downtime because I had to do Carney on the Big 550. There were
Yeah.
some other radio shows, and you mentally you have that in the back of your head, and it's kind of like work
Yes.
because you know you're going to go in, and you're like, and it's even more difficult than work because you have people asking you questions.
Yeah.
You asking me questions doesn't bother me.
No, it's just you and I yapping.
But somebody else you're not used to working with all the time, you don't know what they're going to ask, and it's now I know what people go through when we would interview them.
They were scared and nervous, and we tried our best to kind of put them at ease. And it's like, if you did have a doctor on, they're like, "What are you going to ask me?" It's like,
Right.
I'm not going to ask you what the main ingredient in quiche Lorraine is. It's like, I'm going to ask you what you know. And it's like, once you tell them that and put them at ease, they're fine.
Yeah, and
They're fine.
then you have the doctors who come in and they're just ready to go. They don't even look at you; they look right at the camera.
Right at the camera. And one thing we tell doctors is like, dumb it down.
right.
Don't give us the medicinal explanation or the Latin names for this disease or that medicine. Layman's terms. That's what we want. Because guess what? The mom in South County trying to get 3 kids ready for school
Right.
doesn't want to hear all that while she's packing lunches,
No,
you know?
no, and as I always say, people are listening to morning television.
Yes.
They're not really watching.
Right. And that research shows that most people listen to morning TV. And with Fox 2, still, by the way, Fox 2 is, it's the only local TV show that stays on the air in the morning because Channel 4 goes to New York, Channel 5 goes to New York. And it's like, okay, is my kid's bus stuck? How's the traffic on 40? I think doing what we did and staying hyper local, which, by the way, they still do on Fox 2 every morning from 4 to 10 a.m., I think that, to me, serves the community better, way better.
Mhm.
Because, sure, it's nice to see celebrities on morning TV in New York City. It's okay. But
People would, comment. They would come in from New York. They'd come in from Chicago, and they would say, "My God, you guys have a great morning show.
yeah.
I live here, but this is," and I don't know what it was. I think it was just that it was familiarity. I mean, we knew each other so well we could finish our sentences
Easily.
each.
Yeah. Now, it didn't always start that way. When I worked in sports
Oh no,
at Fox 2,
couldn't stand each other.
I got
oh my God,
no,
Logan.
I think it was just me being difficult. I got tapped to go to the morning show. I'm like,
you didn't want to do it.
but I like sports so much, and
Right.
I do. I'm a huge sports
You can
person.
do both.
And I'm like, I don't want to. And then they said, well, we want you to do the morning show, and I'm like, but I like doing sports. I like covering the Rams and the Blues and the
You'll
Cardinals.
still
and the
do it,
Billikens.
Randy.
Yeah, but then
But they didn't articulate that.
no, they did not.
No.
But then I remember one time my office was still in the sports office as I was working the morning show. Do you remember this? You came in and you said point blank, looked at me in the eyeballs, and you go, "Why don't you like me?" And I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, what did I do to you up?
You know what? I'm like, dude, it's not like I don't like you. It's just I don't know you. And at that time, our relationship was in its infancy, right? I didn't know you at the time. You asked me that, and that's what I told you. And I'm just like, okay, let this go. But John and I worked, as I
Starting
mentioned,
in '99, was it?
yeah.
Victoria Babu was there. Victoria left. Then Randy came in. And 1999, 2000, it just just wasn't gelling. And then on, what was it, November?
Oh, hell, I don't know the month.
No, but it was 9/11, September 11th.
Oh, September
Yeah, I
11th,
was thinking 11 in
2001.
November,
We had
yeah.
been on the air together about a year and a half
Yeah,
at
yeah,
that
but
time.
something happened on September 11th when not only our nation was being attacked and our fellow Americans were being attacked, but you and I felt personally attacked. I mean, we didn't know what was going to happen next. We thought the arch was going to be attacked. We were hearing rumors of terrorists on the Metrolink, which
Yep.
was new.
It was terrifying, obviously. The worst day of my whole career, but I will say in some ways it was also one of the best days because, John, I think that day solidified our working relationship because I'm a daughter of a fire chief in Niagara Falls and a sister of a fire captain, and
my
one of-
dad was a volunteer firefighter.
Right.
Yeah.
The civil servants, and when you see the towers come down on live TV, we don't know what we're looking at. I literally went, I gasped on the air, and John
I remember-
calmly,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
he calmly reached over and grabbed my shoulder, or my arm, and just looked at me. He goes, basically like,
We can do this. It's going to be okay.
Calm down. Because we knew what we were looking at. And from that point on, you and I were on the air for 7 straight hours, which, you know what, boo-hoo, big people, a lot of people had way worse problems than we did that day. But to me, I think that solidified our relationship that, you know what, yeah, we bickered a little bit at that time, but we got through it.
Yeah.
And we got through it pretty well.
And I think when you disagree, and you and I are not on board with so many things, but we have much more in common.
Mm-hmm.
When you disagree, that creates a little bit of edge, and it also creates. St. Louis loves conflict. They like controversy. They feed upon it, and that would arise occasionally, along with the humor. When things are slow, we would have fun, and we would genuinely laugh.
We would laugh our butts off.
The commercial would go, we'd still be laughing.
One time I remember, one time we were talking, and this was more recently, we were talking to Tim Ezzell on one of his live shots.
Yeah.
And we were talking to Tim Ezzell, and you go, Tim, I got to really do something with you. And Tim says to you live on the air, John, I invited you, but I never heard back from you. And I said to you, did you Cats in the Cradle, Tim? You know that song, Cats in the Cradle,
right,
where the kid doesn't have time for the
See
dad?
you later. Can I have them, please?
Exactly. So then the producer starts playing Cats in the Cradle on the air. I go, you Cats in the Cradle, Tim. And now you didn't have an answer for it. And everyone is cracking up in my ear in the studio. That was a funny moment.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that moment. And that was one of those spontaneous moments. We don't plan that. It was just goofy, and the producer was on it. It was Jay, the producer, and it was just a lot of fun.
We had a news director named Kingsley Smith.
And he was every bit of posh as his name sounds.
Yeah, actually, he was a good old boy from Texas.
Yeah.
He said, hey buddy, and he remarried not long ago. And this woman, I saw a picture of him last night, and I laughed because he's standing. This guy loved bird hunting.
Yeah.
He loved hunting. It was all about hunting. He's standing there, dialed out in a tux, and he's holding on to these 2 little fancy poodle type dogs that are dressed up. And I'm thinking,
what did she do to him?
I don't know, but I had to leave a message. My wife goes, you're going to get in trouble. I said, with whom? I'm retired.
Exactly.
He's
can
not my
say
boss.
Whatever you want.
I said, so I guess you've traded in those for the bird dogs,
That's funny.
But he had this term, planned spontaneity. And I didn't like planning spontaneity.
Oh, heck no.
I just wanted it to happen.
We just let it breathe. And,
right.
And that's, some people just feel like every segment has to be so structured. And for some people on the air, it has to be that way because
it does.
They don't have the experience you and I have. And, don't get me wrong. John and I had our dust-ups in the newsroom before we went on TV. Then we had to sit there and go, welcome back to Fox 2 News in the morning, all pretty in our clothes
right.
and stuff. And when we wanted to punch each other under the desk.
We just wanted to do the show and be real as possible. And a lot of times we'd come in and we'd both be beat and tired. Let's just get this over with. And those were some of the best days when you were punch drunk.
No doubt. And then if someone called in sick, you'd end up having to anchor 6 straight hours rather than 2 hours,
yeah.
Which, people are like, all you do is read.
No, you don't
right?
read.
No, you have your back kills you because your posture has to sit. You have all this equipment, so if you need a potty break, you have to unwire everything. And the clothes you shop for, it's like, how will that look on TV? And it's like, I've kind of trained myself not to think that way anymore when I go shopping. And it's like, you know what? I can buy it because I don't have to be on TV anymore, and it's great. I do miss it. Do you miss it after a month?
I miss the people.
Yeah,
I don't miss the process because when you're in the business for as long as we were, I mean, I was in for 43 years.
Yeah, 41 for me.
When you're starting out, you don't notice this, but when you start getting through the halfway mark of that, it never really lives up to your expectations. You want it to be quality. You want it to be the best. And you realize after a while, you're just kind of holding on.
Well, one thing I think about the morning show in particular, it is not like other news programs because of the hours. There's no shift differential as far as pay. You don't get paid extra for getting up in the middle of the night. You don't get paid extra for having people call you at 4 p.m. when you're getting ready for bed to
And
talk
we-
about the segment the next day.
And
it's
we
like-
would be on the air much longer than the other people.
Exactly. Yeah, we would be on the air.
We made a boatload of money for those people, for the shareholders. We really did.
Aren't we something, John?
Yeah. And you know what? A testimony to you and the dedication that we had managing amongst all of the other coworkers who were all, I consider, co-managers, but that when we left, we were just like a fist coming out of a bucket of water. The water just filled in.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to Ty Hawkins the other day. He says, numbers are still good.
Oh, good.
And I'm like, great. And that's
and now Mike Colombo, who was, he
solid news guy.
Oh my gosh, great news guy, really good personality, father of two. I saw some promos with him and Blair Leday, your former co-anchor, and they just look like they fit together.
Yeah. And that's sometimes that doesn't work. Sometimes
No.
it does. And it's so much easier for all you kids who are thinking about getting into this business, don't do it. But for all you who are thinking, it's so much easier to anchor, as we call it, alone than it is to do it with somebody.
Yes.
Because you got to build a relationship. There are theories that you have an actor and a reactor. We never had that.
No, and then there's also the thing where egos,
Yeah.
That's one thing I think John and I worked well together because I never saw it from you. I don't think people saw it from me. There are literal anchors in some markets, and I believe here in St. Louis, they count the words. He got more words than me to say on TV.
Not naming names.
Why does he get a close-up and I don't get a close-up?
Yeah.
You know
And
what? I didn't give a chicken fried.
And I would get embarrassed when I would hear that, not for myself, but for them.
It's like,
oh my
really?
God, really?
Yeah.
Come on. You're not paid by the word.
So if there is somebody, watching this who does want to be an anchor, what do you tell them? Beside what you just said, don't. I mean, you just said don't.
Well,
it's so different than when we first started.
Well, it used to be you'd go to journalism school. I would say don't go to journalism school. Randy didn't.
I'm not a college graduate.
One of the best coworkers I ever had, the best. John Brown never went to journalism school. He had an economic background.
And he's an author.
Yeah. He did a fantastic job. I think you go through the J schools, and sometimes they do a disservice to these students.
Yeah.
Because they'll get working with you. I would have some young people, well, I didn't learn that in journalism school. And I'd say, forget everything you learned there. This is the real world.
This is a real newsroom, a real working news organization.
You have to think.
Right.
Use your head. And don't be afraid to put your own personal experiences into the mix.
And we were talking about egos, that goes for producers as well. Because if you have a news producer who is stacking the news show, okay, you got your lead story, you got your A block, you got weather and traffic, you got B block, and this is how it's structured by the half hour. And then you have a producer who is stacking the show, putting the stories in, then kind of writing the teases, and then kind of writing the scripts.
And then we're out there rewriting
and
everything.
then John and I would come in, and we would kind of look and see what the producer put together. And we go, oh, maybe this story needs to go in front of that story, or blah, blah, blah. Then you'd kind of tweak the scripts into your voice.
And sometimes I'd get, because I look at everything, and I'd start changing something, and I realize it's Randy's script. And she'd look at me, don't change my script.
I didn't make that face.
Well, I make these weird faces, and it makes her look demonic.
It's like, yes, because it's in my voice. You work on your stuff, I'll work on my stuff.
Right, because we each have individual. Now, if I wrote something for you, it just wouldn't come across as Randy.
But then if you do change something, or if you did see a mistake or something, hey, watch out.
Heads up.
Yes, heads up on this script. So we worked well that way, but there are some producers who would get pissed off that you touched their script. It's like, it's coming out of my mouth, so I get to dictate how it comes out of my mouth.
I had one.
Because guess what? If it's wrong, I'm the one getting sued, not you.
I had one time say, where did you get that information? I said, well, I had lunch with that individual yesterday, and they told me. I was sitting right across from him. Well, that's not what it says on the AP wire.
Oh.
I'm like, who's Mr. AP? What's the wire?
Associated
I talked
Press.
to the guy. A
source that sat a foot away from me, right?
The guy told me. I'm
right.
reporting what he told me. Come on, think. You have to use your head.
Yeah, and like you said, in this, social media came up as John and I were evolving in our journalistic careers, and social media is used. A lot of journalists today want to be influencers rather than journalists, and there's a media website called FTV Live that basically calls out a lot of these young journalists.
Do you belong to that? Do you read?
I read it sometimes. I don't subscribe, but I read it sometimes. But he calls out some of these young journalists, these cute young 20-something, reporters, more power to them. And they're like in front of a fire scene and they're going, taking a selfie. It's like, bro, read the room.
Tap it down a little
Don't
bit.
smile in front of a fire scene where someone lost. It's just kind of understanding the climate of what you're doing at the moment. Sure, you want clicks, and sure, you look adorable in that dress, and sure, you're hot, or sure, you work out, or stuff like that. But that's what today's journalists are doing. Some are, and there are many who kind of don't go that route, and it's all about the news story.
I do remember when social media started, you weren't really on board at first. And I'd be out there and Randy did concentrate on the show. And I'm like, it would take, I was like, squirrel.
You're making me sound like a bitch. Told you, you're allowed to swear. Hey.
But I would sit there and then Twitter started.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that.
You're right.
And we got involved. And I remember one day Jack Dorsey, who was one of the co-creators, was in town. And I'm tweeting. And Jack and I became like Twitter friends. I got to know his mom, Marcia. And
he's at Jack, by the way.
Yeah. And he's been off the radar for a while, hasn't he?
Well, I think since he sold
he's
Twitter
like a billionaire now
to Elon Musk, he's kind of just went away to count his money.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So, but it's been a fascinating pastime watching, social media now, artificial intelligence. It's amazing.
Yeah.
There's so much money invested and it's not paying out. It's like so inflated.
Well, you're starting to mess with some. I mean, you're altering some videos of us.
Well,
I
like, stopped.
What are you doing?
I backed away from that because
creepy,
I don't know what Elon Musk is doing with this site, but it's starting to go a little blue. And it's getting weird. And I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
My son warned me. He says, don't get, because he's in software sales for Adobe. And he said, back off. You're giving it too much information. Remember 2001, A Space Odyssey? It's hell. And you're feeding it information and it retains it and it pulls it from everywhere else. So artificial intelligence is it's a double-edged sword. It really is. You've got to be careful.
Yeah.
And I invested in one of the biggest artificial intelligence companies, backed out last year when things got real freaky with the stock market. Wished I hadn't. But there's a lot of money invested right now.
Oh, heck yeah. And who knows where it's going to go. And I have a feeling it's going to, go even further.
Oh, it's going to go
further. And he's always been correcting me on that one.
It's a distance thing. Physical distance, farther.
That was one of his things.
I had some pet peeves, but I would screw up all the time. And then I remember I used to correct Timmy Zell. And I realized, no, that's his shtick. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
That was years ago.
Yeah. Yes, we're not there to correct people.
Right. No.
I think, didn't someone say foliage on the air one time for foliage?
Foliage.
And you said it's foliage. And I'm like, bro, you just corrected one of our guests on the air. I can't remember.
Did I really?
Probably, yeah. That guy.
Wished I hadn't done that.
It's too late now. You're done. Hi, everyone. It's Randi Naughton from the More to Say podcast. Thank you very much for supporting our podcast over the tons of episodes we've done so far. Somebody I want to shout out specifically to is an organization called Team Jakey. They are one of the sponsors of the More to Say podcast, and I couldn't be more grateful to be partnering with them. What is Team Jakey? Well, this family, the Zeller family, knows all too well what it's like to lose somebody to suicide. So that happened to them. Their beloved Jake took his own life. And what they want to do, they've set out on a quest to end the stigma of mental illness. So Team Jakey puts together all these amazing community events year round to help raise the awareness and prevent suicide and end the stigma of mental illness. So we would love it if you followed them on Facebook, Team Jakey and the Stigma. And of course, thank you for supporting the More to Say podcast as well. Team Jakey is one of our partners, and we are so happy to have them on board. Thank you very much, and we'll see you on the podcast.
Now you're hearing from us over here on the podcast, Mostly Superheroes. I'm your host, Logan Janis.
Arena Andy.
Scotty Scoop.
Sam the Sleeper.
And we're bringing you all the things in St. Louis and beyond, from events and interviews,
sports and movies,
comics and games,
to community and news.
All the things that you need to stay informed, have a little fun. It's all happening at mostlysuperheroes.com, and we'll see you there.
Rise energy strips. And you're like, Rise. I've seen those. I've heard of those. RIIZE, and the chief medical officer with Rise Health Strips, with the energy strips. And this is Dr. Joe Molesky. And you're like, I know that guy. And he's going to tell us all about it.
Thanks for having me, Randy. Really what Rise is, or riseup.com, we are a supplement company, but we're different because we provide a different method of delivery. And that method of delivery is a strip. So I'm sure you guys heard of like the Listerine strip or the breast strips, that we put other vitamins and nutrients inside there, like B12, energy. We make it reasonably priced compared to some of the pill versions, or just figure out how much a Starbucks coffee or an energy drink costs. I mean, those are $5-6 a piece. So we make it reasonable. We make it convenient. We make it for you.
It is RIIZE, riseup.com, if you want to get in on this latest craze in supplement delivery system. It's under the tongue. It dissolves in moments, works in minutes. So you want to maybe check that out to see which one might work for you, for whatever you'd like to help or correct. Dr. Joe Molesky, I thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. Rise up.
Yeah.
I want to get back to the retirement thing. How is your wife handling having you around all the time now? How is Mary dealing with it?
Well, she sits in the sunroom playing solitaire, checking out, the internet and stocks and things like that. She's got a business background. And I'm over there watching goofy memes and funny stories. And I'm constantly being told, turn it off, turn it down. And she'll just get up and walk out of the room and go somewhere else. So now I wear headphones.
Yeah.
And the minute I put the headphones on and I'm laughing, she'll start going,
she wants to talk to you.
Now I'm angry. I'm watching this. You're interrupting me.
Are you planning any trips anytime soon?
Yeah, we're going to go skiing. We're going to do some skiing trips. I really want to go back to Europe.
You love Europe.
I do. And I miss it. It's changed so much, though.
But you know what I just noticed at looking at you now? You said you were going to grow a beard so no one could recognize you.
Okay, I did.
You're clean shaven.
I did. And I had one. Where was I going? And I said, "Oh, I need to shave." Mary said, "You need to shave. You look like a person down on their luck." And I said, "What's wrong with that?" But she said, "No, really, you don't look good." So I shaved it off. And then I had an event.
You have a nice face, I will say.
I had an event. Thank you. I had an event Saturday night in Florissant.
They gave you the key to the city?
I was at Sacred Heart grade school, and I was the co-MC with a guy named Steve Rupp, who's friends with Zipper Zeppa. Zipper Zeppa hired him.
Okay.
At
Channel 4?
No. He works St. Vincent de Paul.
Oh, gotcha.
So Steve's a great guy, wonderful auctioneer, one of the best in town, and he does it pro bono. He also plays Santa Claus, and you can hire him. And I've met people all over. Said, "Oh, that's Steve. Yeah, he comes to the house. He's a professional Santa Claus." Anyway, we were up there working together, and Mayor Tim Lowry came up with the head of the council and presented me with a proclamation, little one, and the key to the city.
Nice.
And I'd had a couple of glasses of wine.
Tell everybody what you tweeted.
Well, my wife drove me over to City Hall. She said, "Let's see if it works." And I went up, and it doesn't. It's like a big thing. They got tiny little.
It
doesn't
I thought,
work. Man, he punked me. It's bait and switch.
You literally tried to get into.
Yeah, I thought, and somebody said it's the back door, and I'm not going to try. The wind was blowing. It was starting to get cold, and I said, "The heck with it." But it's a really nice little key. It's smaller than the St. Louis key, which I was with. Was it Francis Slay? And I kept saying, "Yeah, it'd really be nice to get one of them keys." Remember?
You were pimping for a city key?
I pimped for the key, and finally he says, "Just take it." Yeah.
Gee, that's so
I've been
heartwarming.
Tried to get one from Shamel, tried to get one from Bosley, tried to get one from Harmon, and finally Francis gave me one. And Tim Lowry, thank you. I really like the Tim Lowry.
Nice. It sounds like it was a nice event. So are you going to be doing more kind of charity events and appearances, or are you just going to go off the radar?
I'm kind of off the radar right now. I need to understand what retirement's all about. I do have a neighbor. Used to be a quarterback for the Bears, and he wants me to go to some of the soup kitchens with him. He's one of these guys and collect bread and take it around. I said, that'd be interesting. We could do that.
Do you have any questions for me now that I am a veteran retired person? But I'm kind of busy, with my podcast and and my voiceover business and my mini horse. And
Well, you are busy, and
Yeah.
you also have a grandchild on the way.
I have a grandchild on the way in
Grandma
January.
Randy!
Yeah. I'm going to
Get
enter
off
the
my
granny
lawn, you
zone in
kids.
January.
Yeah. Was there a point where you had some downtime and you got forgetful? Because I'm starting to, my brain isn't clicking as quickly. I can't remember names. And I know that comes with age, but
It does come with age, but
I just want to make sure I'm not heading into dementia.
it probably does that, but I'm a list maker. I make lists in my phone. I have Post-it notes everywhere. Like if I'm having my coffee, I write down my list of everything I need to do for that day. And like if I have to go down into my studio, I make another separate list for everything. So a list is like the thing. And I've got my husband doing it now. And it's like, well, I got to pick up stuff at Home Depot. And I'm like, make a list. Make a list. That's
But you
key.
never walk out of the house undressed or anything like that.
No.
Because I did
Haven't-
something today.
What did...
And you noticed it the minute I walked in here.
Okay. I said to John when he came here, I go, oh my God, take it off. Let me see.
I don't know how this happened.
I said, are those slippers?
I walked
You
out of
left the house wearing slippies?
Yeah, and I'm embarrassed.
John!
It's like I was going to do all this shopping. I was going to do all this stuff.
But dude, honestly,
I can't walk around in
they
those,
look
can I?
like loafers. I mean, they couldn't he get away with this, Logan? Do you think?
I think first of all, you're really brave for just holding a full grown man's
Size
shoe,
12.
like his shoe. Like I wouldn't be holding a person's shoe. I guess I'm just a
I'm
good germ
fine.
person.
Well,
I work on a farm sometimes.
Yeah, I've been cleaning out the closet.
you drive a
'cause-
horse around.
I do.
Yeah. She's got a little guy with one eye.
So what is the story behind John leaving the house in his slippies?
The most retired thing ever.
The most retired thing ever.
Right, and it was absent-minded. I never would have done that at Channel 2.
Do you need to make a list to wear shoes, John?
I mean, the most basic. I mean, I was running around the house grabbing things that I had to use when I came into town here to return to people that I'd borrowed, things like that. And I simply forgot.
It's okay. You're all right. Don't
May
let
I
it
put
get
back
to you.
on?
I remember, in fact, I have a photograph somewhere in my archives. I went to work one day, and you get dressed in the dark to go to work on a morning show.
Right.
I had 2 black booties. They were different. So I wore 2 different kinds of shoes. Still black shoes with a little heel. One had a sling back, which is a strap in the back, and the other one had a buckle or something. And I do have that photo somewhere that I literally wore 2 different. Nobody could tell because it was under the anchor desk, but
Yeah. I love
it
how
happens.
you say literally. Reminds me of Rob Lowe.
Literally on Parks and Rec.
Yeah. By the way, Rob Lowe has a great podcast. I
Yeah.
enjoy listening to him.
But
Yes.
nobody wants to listen to that podcast because they're
When-
too busy listening to More
to
to
Randy's.
Say and mostly superheroes.
All right, so I want to just say one of the things I learned. I have 5 sisters. You had 1 of 5 siblings, right?
I have
or
6
7.
siblings.
I'm 5 sisters, 7 siblings, and my brother.
Right.
But I had never really worked with women that closely. I grew up with them, but
Uh-huh.
they were girls, and then they moved out. I was telling my wife that I have this theory, and I've come to the conclusion, watching you and other women on the morning show, is that you don't dress for men. You dress for other women. You have your nails done for other women. You do things that a guy would never notice.
Mm-mm.
I mean, there was one guy who would notice, but
Yeah, you mean
but-
my cyber stalker guy.
Yeah.
I would have people say, hey, undo some buttons. I mean, believe me, we got our share of creeps.
but that's what
out
I'm like.
there.
He's not looking at nails, and he's not looking at
No,
shoes. And
no.
there was one guy who got into shoes. I remember that was different. But,
Yeah.
but it was like, I never noticed. You guys would be talking about these designers. I'm like, who the heck is that?
Yeah.
Or I got these nails, and now with my daughter-in-law, I'm learning all about nails because she goes, she must have Russian nails, and it's a specific kind of nails that are done.
See, and I know you know this about me. I'm not a salon or a spa girl.
No,
I'm not. I don't get my nails. I do it all myself. I scrape my own feet. TMI.
right.
I just don't like to go to salons. I mean, I go to get my hair done when I need to, but it's just never been my bag.
It's not your bag. And
It's-
you always said, I'm never going to do this. I'm never going to, and you never did.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I still don't.
What you see is what you
And
get.
it's so funny because I just posted a video of me going back to Buffalo. I think it was last weekend to go to the Buffalo Bills game. That was the Chiefs game. And I post a little video in the airport on my web. And then somebody goes, you really should use, and they name some product. I'm like, what the hell is that? So I looked it up, and it's like for bags under your eyes.
Is that the stuff I bought you in
No,
London?
No. I still have that, and it's from
Okay.
France.
It's
I'm like, well, that
actually Israel. I
and
think.
that's the thing. There are these keyboard cowboys who still just are emboldened to say anything. It's like, I'd have salons call me, go, we could really give you some free Botox if you want. I'm
Right.
like, I never did it, and I never will. And guess what? I'm almost 64, and this is what 64 looks like. But there are other people who go out of their way but you know what? And more power to you. It's just never been my bag.
Yeah, one woman, Patty Needleman is her name, and she was a makeup artist for years.
Mm-hmm.
And she would send me a message occasionally. John, you need to put makeup on your ears, like on the tops.
Oh, were they white compared to everything else?
Well, they would glow. So it'd be la, 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 la,
well,
la,
plus,
la, la.
you could
My
probably
favorite Martian,
see through the cartilage, right? You could probably see the pink through the cartilage.
Well, see, your ears are covered up. Mine would they
Right.
would be shiny. And then one day, I don't know, I was hungover or something. It was back in the early days, and I
Wait. Did you ever go on TV drunk?
never.
I think I did.
Did you?
I think I did.
I
But
worked with somebody who did every day. I mean,
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
Right. But there was a line right here, and it looked like that skit that Timmy Zell did that time where he put makeup on and he had the lipstick all over.
Oh, gosh.
It was funnier than heck.
Tim Izell, bless his
Yeah.
heart. We love Timmy.
And then Randy hurt her arm one time. You had that Dr.
My shoulder
Lehman's shoulder,
surgery.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you had to have somebody come in and do your makeup.
Yeah, because I couldn't lift, when you have rotator cuff.
Well,
and,
my wife went through that.
yeah.
Same
and
surgery.
You can't lift. And they said,
Yeah.
when are you coming back to work? I go, well, whenever I can lift my arm to do my hair and makeup, because no, they didn't hire hair and makeup people. We did it ourselves. Some days it was better than others, and I've learned how to do TV ready hair and makeup in 15, 20 minutes, but I couldn't go like this to do my hair. And I said, well, if you want to hire a makeup artist to do my hair every day till I'm better, I was shocked. They said, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. So I came in with my stupid arm brace, and there we go.
This is probably the first time I've been on anything where I'm not wearing makeup. I hated that aspect of it.
That's one thing I did today, and I'm like, you don't want to see that.
Yeah.
I mean, I go without makeup mostly, but when I'm doing stuff like this,
Yeah.
and Logan has it lit so nicely. Thank you, Logan.
I didn't even think of it. I got this little bag that I'd throw all this stuff in there. My wife would go out and buy it. I remember when I first had to go out and buy it, I was embarrassed. I was
Oh,
like,
a
I don't
boy
want-
buying
Can you buy it? Can
makeup?
you buy it for me? Because I just thought,
Now you just do it online.
yeah. Now there are probably more men buying it.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
whole world has changed.
makeup is a part of being on TV.
But-
So now that you're retired and you and I are retired, would you ever be open to doing something media-wise down the road, or are you done?
Well, this started out as a hobby for me.
Yeah.
This was never a job. In fact, from my first jobs, I was like, I can't believe they're paying me to do this. So yeah, there's a possibility.
You think so?
Yeah, it's not so much of a hobby anymore.
No. But I
You
mean,
get those big sponsors, man.
John's pimping for sponsors. We love it. That's what we
Today's
need.
program is
America,
brought to you by
baby.
San Pellegrino.
Marca, pay us to talk for you. We shall.
The taste of Italy.
So
Well,
you're gonna.
I'll say from the outside looking in, I mean, it's really cool to see you two together. I guess for the first reunion is happening right now. This is the first not at Fox reunion
Right.
duo.
It is.
Oh my God.
And then me and Carrie we're one of the many people in St. Louis that were just fans of the two of you. And it's cool to see you guys
Which
unfiltered.
that totally shocked me because, like, you guys are literally half our age. We're like, then we forget that how long we've been there. It's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool, though, to see the unfiltered look. You guys always had those quick spots with guests, so it's cool to just hear you guys talk.
Yeah. John and I can
I
shoot
love
the
you,
breeze.
Logan. You're a good guy. I've only met Logan twice.
Really?
and I
Well,
already
he's
love
been
him.
into Fox, too.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
That's
Yeah,
where we
well,
met.
I'd see him when he'd come through, but
For Four Hands and
Right.
for mostly superheroes and for Team Jakey. You've made multiple appearances. He's like the ultimate St. Louis hype man. When I'm telling you, if you need to promote something and if you need Logan on your side, we met. It was a happy accident about a year ago. And I think, didn't you reach out to me and said, hey, I want you on my podcast?
Yeah, just as a guest.
Just as a guest. And I'm like, wait a minute, mostly superheroes? I think I maybe saw.
Well, that's
the
why I
origi-
like you're kind of a nerd.
Oh, yeah.
You're kind of a geek, and I am too.
He
I always
says that
have
in the
been.
most loving way.
So my son went to SLU High, and I knew it was the perfect school for him because when he went there the first day, one of the priests or somebody said, "Hey, you check your cool at the door. Nobody's cool here."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh my God, you're speaking my language."
yeah.
I get around people just, they're so full of themselves. They think I'm arrogant because of it's like, don't
Because of what you did for a living.
well,
right?
and don't sit there and give me your thoughts on how you
Get to know me, man.
Yeah,
it's
like,
easy.
so I actually love geeky. I have weird hobbies, and I enjoy people who are not afraid of what other people think.
That's right. And that's the
know?
way you got to be,
Right.
just like me and my unabashed love for my Buffalo Bills in the middle of
Yeah,
Chiefs
she's-
Kingdom.
I get every weekend. Mary said, "Did she get a deal on flights?" And I said, "I don't know. I'll ask
Nope,
her."
no.
Yeah.
I had a bunch of points on Southwest, so we just booked them one after another. Used up all my points. I think I paid for a few tickets, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
been-
you're not alone. There are women on TikTok who are part of the Bills Mafia.
We're nuts. It's called
Yeah.
Bill's Mafia
Yeah,
Babes, right?
yeah,
We're
yeah.
nuts,
And
and we.
I was like, "Oh my God, I wonder if Randy
But
knows her."
this is the day after they lost to the Dolphins.
Yeah,
Holy hot dog.
it's a weird season.
It is
really
a strange season, but I don't know. But I wanted to get back to Logan.
Yeah, let's
He
talk about
asked-
Logan.
He asked me a year ago to be on his podcast, and I'm like, okay, I don't really know much about superheroes. I don't watch Marvel. I don't do
Did
any
he
of
say,
that
"Come to
business."
my basement"?
He said, right. He said, I want
Get
to
over here
interview
in my
you in my
weird
studios in my basement in South City. I'm like, bro, that's kind of creepy. But I came here, and this is where we are now, and it's lavishly appointed. And then we just got to talking about, I really love doing podcasts. And the reason I started was because on TV you had 3 minutes, and you have a producer in your ear screaming rap, 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 but allows us to kind of peel back the layers of a conversation. And I just said, I just don't know how to do all the technical stuff because we had people do it for us. And Logan goes, I can do that for you.
Right.
And that's how our relationship was born, Logan.
Yeah.
I'm so
It's
happy
fun.
to have you.
And now you guys are here in Kerrigan Studios, and thanks for calling my Shrewsbury house South City. That makes me
It's
love you even more.
Shrewsbury, yeah.
Did I say
Yeah,
Shrewsbury?
you've been
You
saying
said South-
you
you
South
said-
City.
Which I'd rather it be South City because I'm a city guy.
Yeah, I
but
used to live in
Okay.
the Shaw neighborhood.
yeah, same.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
What street?
Shaw.
Oh, okay. I was on it.
Oh my, he was on
Flora Place.
Flora Place.
Oh, okay.
And he never lets you forget it.
We started, my neighbor and I started the historic Shaw Art Fair. It was her idea, and I
Yeah.
helped promote it. Yeah.
I used
Still
to
going.
I used to make fun of Shrewsbury the way it was called. I'd be, ooh, Shrewsbury.
Shrewsbury.
Now I live here.
I was always confused. There was an alderman named Shrewsbury in the city of St. Louis.
Mm.
I'm thinking, what's he living in the city for? He should live in Shrewsbury. Could own the town.
There you go.
Anyway.
So anyway, you have a trip to go skiing in December-ish, right?
Yeah, somewhere around
And
there.
what
yeah.
about there? You're going to go back to Europe, and
I wanna see
how
my-
are you going to fulfill the rest of your first year?
I
of
got to
retirement?
get down to Arizona and see Uncle Billy,
Yeah,
my dad's little brother. We talk probably twice a month. He's in his 80s,
yeah.
and we have a lot in common. And it's just such a long drive, and there are really no. I guess Southwest flies down there.
Yeah, Southwest
he-
goes to
You got to
Scottsdale
go to
and
Phoenix, and then you got to go.
right.
So and.
But you know what? I love road
I
trips.
want to drive.
I
yeah.
think it was
can
growing
stop.
up in a large family, and we didn't have money for plane tickets, so we piled all 9 of us
in the station
in the
wagon.
station
That's
wagon
what we
with the
would do.
tent and the screen house,
Yeah.
and that was our vacation.
Where would you go?
We would go up to Canada camping.
We go
and
to
fishing.
Biloxi, Mississippi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You went south, I went north because I grew up along the.
Your mom was a Canadian.
My mom was Canadian,
Yeah.
right?
Do you have
that's-
dual citizenship?
No, I could if I wanted to, but my sister does. One of my sisters do.
It's
But
interesting.
I have to do the paperwork.
Your husband was born in Spain.
Right.
He had dual citizenship
Mm-hmm.
until he was 18, and then it lapsed.
Yep.
I met a guy. He was military kid, born in Frankfurt, Germany, and he had dual citizenship. And I said, "Do you still have it?" He goes, "No, man. I went into the military. They made me get rid of it.
No kidding.
You can't be dual
No kidding.
citizenship
Well,
in the U.S.
I don't
military."
think I'll be going into the military anytime soon. So, John, you want to make this maybe a semi-regular thing, coming on the podcast and hanging and yapping?
Yeah, if
and
there's
you know,
something to talk about. We've just been at a loss for anything to talk about.
you and I can fill some time yapping. You and I
Yeah.
have the gift, man.
That's
But
true.
if there's something that we want to talk about, we'll pick out a subject matter or possibly even get a guest in the future. How does that sound?
That's fine. We can go controversial too. I don't care.
really?
Yeah.
Well, we're allowed to now.
Yeah, you can do anything. So this whole venue of doing a podcast, they started doing it at Channel 2 while you
Uh-huh.
were there.
Uh-huh.
And we would get off the
Didn't
set.
that die on the vine?
No, it's still going. In
You
fact,
mean the digital show?
the digital show.
Okay.
I mean, I would do The Vault
Right,
And
right,
then
right.
we'd show old stories. I did not like doing that though, because I can say it now. Channel 2 does not pay ASCAP or BMI. It comes from the parent company of Nexstar.
Those are music licensing fees.
Yeah. So if you watch Channel 2, there's no music anymore. It's all this special canned music that they buy.
I remember that we weren't allowed to sing Happy Birthday. We weren't allowed to play Happy Birthday because
They'd have to pay.
They would have to pay, and that's why we always played the Beatles version. You say it's your birthday.
Right, because at the time,
we never played the Happy Birthday song.
When he was alive, Michael Jackson actually owned Happy Birthday.
Yeah, yeah.
So every time you'd play it, Michael would make even more money.
Okay, is this guy just filled with boatloads of knowledge? I mean, stuff you didn't know you thought you needed to know.
Some
John
would say
knows
full
it.
of crap. So anyhow, they would air my old stories. Well, I'd introduce them, the vault, and just ad lib into them, and they'd air them, and all of a sudden there'd be these moments where it's just silent. I'm like,
because you used music back in the day.
Yeah, it was sweet, and it was specific. It had a comical effect. It was there for a reason. I wouldn't just add music to add music. It was there for a purpose.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I'm like, where's the music? We had to take it out. We have a computer program that pulls the music out. And finally, I said, I don't want to do this. I'm embarrassed. It's like I'm not just filling time. I don't want to fill time with crap.
Exactly.
If you want to do it the way it was
especially
produced,
the work you put into it, your creativity, your poetic license. I get it.
She was so cute, Megan. She's, please. I went, all right, I'll keep doing it. I don't care. You get to a point where you just don't care.
You were ready to get the hell out of
there. I'll do whatever
I
you
would
want
call
me to do.
John a couple months prior to his departure date. He's like, I'm just ready to go. I said, hang in there, buddy. Only 37 more days.
I had a retirement calendar that would tick down every second.
He said it to me all the time.
Yeah.
And you're happy you did it. You're happy you're gone. You're not happy. And you're in touch with everybody. So it's not like you can't FaceTime or say hi to people.
Yeah. I just, it was every day was like, I've done that.
It was time.
And I tell you what.
And you know what's the beautiful thing? Sorry
that?
to interrupt.
Damn it.
You did it on your terms.
Right.
Because some people don't get to do that in this business. I did it on my terms. I mean, the news director said, I don't want to be done with you yet. I go, yeah, uncle, I'm good. And then you said, I'm done. And there was a time when John and I were kind of plotting to retire together.
Yeah, I wish we'd done that.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
But you weren't ready. I was ready. It's like, bye.
Yeah. I really miss passing on experiences to other people.
Yeah.
Some people will use the term mentoring. I really enjoy doing that because it is the ultimate in love. You're passing on your profession and knowledge that help you. You're like, God, I wish somebody told me that when I was 26.
Yeah. And whether they absorb it and utilize it, it's entirely up to them.
And some never absorb it.
Right. Some never do.
You're talking to an oil painting. It's like, it's like then you just move on.
Well, John, I think you and I need to make this at least a semi-regular
Are we out of time
thing.
almost?
We are out of time, buddy.
Okay.
I mean, we've been yapping for almost an hour.
Wow.
See what happens when you get us together? You know what I want you to do if you're looking at this podcast? Go to my website, randinaughton.com, and there's a section that sends me an email, randy@randinaughton.com. Send me some subject matter of if you want John and I together, something that we can talk about. His hobbies, my hobbies. We never talk politics. I make that a point of not talking politics, but I guess now that we're off TV, we probably can. So,
well, I think lately we'd probably agree more than disagree than in the past. But I mean, because it's a crazy world politically.
Yeah.
And as you get older, you start seeing all the BS. And it's like, oh my God.
And another thing is what I do is like, because I don't have to pay attention to the news anymore, I kind of don't.
I don't either.
Which is really nice.
In fact, I was coming into Shrewsbury.
Shrewsbury, Logan.
Whoop, whoop. So I live in the Metro East. I'm getting off the Poplar Street Bridge, and I'm seeing chunks of snow. And I'm like, what the heck happened here? I didn't know. So I asked Grok, hey, Grok, east of St. Louis, where was there snow?
Indiana.
Chicago.
Yeah.
More than a foot in the southern suburbs. I'm like, really?
I love snow.
What about Madison, Wisconsin? They got a light dusting.
That's where
you're
from.
the upper Midwest, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Buffalo
cool.
got it too.
Yeah.
I love it.
Lake effect.
Yes, indeed. Well, John, it was a pleasure. So much fun. Nice hanging with you again, Logan.
Thanks, Logan. Nice
Thanks for
basement.
having us here in
Thanks.
Shrewsbury.
Yeah, not South
We
St.
appreciate
Louis.
it. And we thank you all for joining us here on the More to Say podcast. John and Randy back together again. How much fun is that? Don't be surprised if we do it some more in the future.
And I'm going to Dad's Cookies. Eat Dad's Cookies.
I love those things.
Yeah.
They're oatmeal. Give me
Really?
a break with the oatmeal.
Oh, my
Oatmeal
God.
raisins, my
They have
favorite.
one that you dip in chocolate.
I know,
It's
so
oh.
good. So anyway, make sure you jump on any streaming platform to listen to not only this episode, but all episodes in the past. We'd like to thank our sponsors, TeamJakey.org,
Love Team
helping
Janky.
to end the stigma of mental illness in the
Right.
St. Louis area, doing great things. Go to their website, TeamJakey.org. And of course, my podcast partner, Logan Janis, who's right over
He's the
there.
best. I
The
love
Mostly
Logan.
Superheroes podcast. He is the brains of the outfit. I'm telling you, he really is. We just do the yapping. So thank you so much. Again, go to my website, randynaughton.com. Follow me all over social media at Randy Naughton. He's at Pertzfox or John Pertzborn. So follow him too.
Rap.
That sounds familiar. Until next time.
This has been More to Say with Randy Naughton. Interesting conversations with interesting people. Be sure to like or subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.